Dear Mr. President, you've given me the opportunity to serve my country as Deputy United States Trade Representative with the rank of Ambassador. Mr. President, you made my father's last wish come true. For 3 years and on 48 trips abroad as your ambassador and trade representative in Asia, Latin America, Mexico, and Canada, I've done my utmost to represent the world's greatest country and show what can be done here. I pray that I have done it well and to your satisfaction. Thank you, sir, for allowing me to serve the country that gave my family a home and a future. I'm Richard Fisher, and I graduated Farragut in 1967. Having gone to Farragut, I've been pulled out of what wasn't the best school system. It was a very lucky thing that happened to me. Boy's Life was a magazine for scouts. And in the back of Boy's Life, there was always an ad for Admiral Farragut Academy, and I was always impressed. So I wrote away on my own to see the information on Farragut. My parents were not educated. They had no schooling. My father claims to have gone through 4th grade, but we're not sure about it. They wanted us to be well educated. So my father managed to get a loan. It was nice to have a solid education. The best part about it was, frankly, the discipline. And Farragut North was kind of strict. I mean, lights out at 10 o'clock, you're up at 6, you formed up, even if it was bloody cold outside, freezing. And you marched into breakfast and, you had your regular routine. I was a nerd. I was the president of the math club and president of my class. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about leadership and discipline. You learn about how to play fair. Coach Levy was a tough coach. My life became organized. I was encouraged by Captain Dodge and all the teachers we had. I think that was the basic foundation that helped me in life. I did 2 years at Annapolis. I was recruited to go to Harvard, and so I graduated 2 years later from Harvard, class of '71. And then I worked for a year in the Dominican Republic and as a bartender and a waiter and a busboy in Washington, D.C. to get money to go to Oxford in England. And then I realized I wasn't going to make a living in Latin American studies. So I applied to Stanford Business School. When I graduated from Stanford Business School, my father said, look, we've gone from no education in our family to too much. Get a job. And I did. I went to Wall Street, and that was the beginning of my career. I was managing a hedge fund back then. We did really, really well, and then I sold it because President Clinton asked me to be his deputy trade representative. I was given Asia, Latin America, and NAFTA. I implemented NAFTA. Remember, President H.W. Bush is the guy who did that deal, but Clinton believed in it, and so we had to put it to work. And that was 4 years of my life. When I left as being deputy USTR, being an ambassador, Henry Kissinger took me in. I was vice chairman of his firm. One day I got a phone call from a man named Ray Hunt. He said, I'm chairman of the board of the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas, and I'd like you to come interview for the job. And I did, and when I walked out of the room, he said, you have the job. So I had 10 years, 2005 to 2015. So I served under Alan Greenspan as chair, a year and a half, and then Ben Bernanke, then Janet Yellen. And I would say that was the purest form of public service. It all comes back to Farragut. I can't imagine. I look at some of the kids I went to junior high school with. Their lives just haven't, it was a tough neighborhood. And my life has just turned out magically. And I'm grateful for it. For me, it changed my life. And I think I did okay.